John. Well, whoever made the statement that drag racing was a family sport hit the nail right on the head. The Lamprecht family of Nebraska showed that to everybody last Sunday. First, in top comp, it was the Camaros of the Lamprecht brothers, Cal and Larry, squaring off in the final. Larry Lamprecht was a little anxious as he left the line too soon and drew the red light, giving the race and the win to his brother Cal. But the family celebration was not over yet. The Super Bowl finals featured Larry's wife, Janell Lamprecht, and her Corvette proud Chevrolet Nova, going up against Ed Robothon out of Hayward, Iowa. Robothon was the guilty party this time as he moved too quick and he red-lighted handing the win to the young lady from Nebraska. The family affair continued in Pro ET as Tracy Lindemann out of Ethan, South Dakota in a Pontiac took the measure of his brother-in-law, John Christensen out of Mitchell with a Camaro. In the sportsman competition, the Mankato, Minnesota veteran Craig Winslow in his cookie duster Plymouth took the measure and the winner's circle from Gary Buck in a Mercury Cougar. NHRA Class Eliminator featured Anton, Iowa's John Wilson in a Plymouth Duster, winning over Dave Peak of Oakdale, Minnesota in a Mustang. Superbike was another family affair as the Johnson brothers met in the finals for the first time. Stan Johnson took the win when Greg Johnson's bike had mechanical problems. Before we go back to Tom Savage, one final note. If you thought that the sport of drag racing is only for young people, tune in next week when we'll talk to a gentleman who has a little different idea on that subject. Reporting for Fastlane, I'm Bob Dugan. Tom?
Thanks, Bob Dugan, for that report from Thunder Valley and the drag racing action. And now, race fans, we're going to take an in-depth... Okay, let's boogie down to Marion, South Dakota, Thunder Valley Dragway. Take it away, Bob.
Thank you, Tom Savage. There are those who think that drag racing is a man's sport. When the racing begins, the men go racing, the women usually go shopping, or at least something similar. Yet, we have found a couple that seems to have discovered a way to make racing bearable.
We bought an old 58 Cadillac and I ran it in demolition derby, and when that was over they had a powder puff derby and she crawled in that and drove it. And from then on, it's been hard to get her out of the car.
I got bored sitting watching him, so I had to do something, and that's mainly why I did it.
In a normal family racing scenario, the wife barbecues the dinner, carries the water, and polishes the car, among other duties. But this is not the way it started out for Larry and Janell.
But she had a definite interest in it, because even when we started going together, I think that's one of the reasons we even started going together, because we were both interested in cars. And
Larry Lamprecht didn't need to encourage his wife to race. She wanted to race.
Well, yeah, I think it's fun. I'd miss it if we quit, because I guess I'm that good one to sit home on Sunday afternoon. You meet a lot of different people. You know, they're from everywhere.
Last year, Janell showed her expertise at driving a race car when her competitor blew an engine in the top-end lights and slid into her lane at over 100 miles per hour. Janell skillfully drove around the errant race car to safety.
No, most people think we stock car race, which you have a hard time telling them that, no, I don't want to get hit, which we came close to last year, but that leaves too close for comfort, let's put it that way.
Janell's not the only other Lamprecht involved in racing. Larry's brother Cal started racing with Larry back in the 1970s.
My brother had a car he bought, and we decided to come up here one day and race it and see how it worked out. We didn't win much the first year, but it was fun, so we just kept coming back, and then 2 years later we built the two cars that we've got now, the two Camaros, and once it gets in your blood, you're hooked.
Racing has its ups and downs, but Cal's attitude about losing is kind of surprising.
I like to drive the car, win or lose. You know, I had a good time today. It's 107 degrees. I got drilled in the first round. That's fun.
The Lamprechts have enjoyed their success, not only in competition, but in managing to keep their family together during the racing season.
a lot of the guys that race up here, they don't, their families aren't that interested in it, you know, and they come alone. And it's actually caused some real trouble in marriages. Whereas we all enjoy it, we all enjoy coming, and everybody comes when they can, when it's not this hot out, you know. The kids get to come along too.
It's a good Sunday afternoon sport. We usually bring, when the family comes, there's a pool here, and we have something for them to do while we race. They enjoy it.
We'd come up here a couple times to watch before we ever raced. And